Greetings, Star Trek Fleet Commanders. I am the Angry Rhino. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Yes, time for a final thoughts video. Making my notes for this, I realized there were a few things that I actually really liked this month. But overall, I just feel like the absolute failure of Flashpoint cannot pass this month. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you, this month is going to get it 2 thumbs down. Yes, there will be things that I say I liked. You don't have to agree, but yeah. I think there is certain failures or certain things that we don't like that can absolutely tank a whole month. Yeah. Let's get right into it. You can see Strange New World Scotty on the screen, starting with the officers like I always do. I mean, he's okay, I guess. Officer ability increases isolated cascade damage by 100% at tier 1, 300% at max, versus Flashpoint hostiles and Flashpoint invading entities. Below deck ability increases the ship's shield health by 100% at tier 1, 700% at max. The abilities are fine. I'm not so sure that we really need more damage against Flashpoint enemies. At least that's not what's tripping me up. What's getting me is the high damage of the hostiles and the evading entities, which in turn I would need more defense. To a certain extent, some of that defense would come from hazard resistance. But again, I just don't think, at least at this point, we don't know what's coming soon. Apparently, Trashpoint isn't just about this month. It will continue for the next few arcs, or at least that's what we are told. Or the next few arc months instead of the arc series as a whole. Which sounds wonderful, doesn't it? I'll get to the trash point when I get there. I just feel like defense is much more needed. Okay, yes, he works against the invading entities and he works against the dropships. He does not work against the bounty hunters in the system, which I guess you have to separate Flashpoint and the Transogen loop. It's 2 different things there, which to me reduces Scotty's value. Now, we'll see moving forward, but to me, Scotty's meh. He really is. Come to the officer that I actually really do like. Now, yes, I didn't really talk about the addition of Syndicate or the whatever we call it, a Syndicate expansion. And you'll get a whole bunch of T'Pring shards there. That's where her sourcing is. And you also get sourcing for a fleet preset, which, yeah, something they added, and I'm not necessarily going to talk about it in this because I don't have it. I can't really tell you much about it, other than having one doesn't really do a whole lot of good. I mean, whatever. Take a look at T'Pring. I want to take a look at her below deck ability. First, Strange New World T'Pring increases the amount of 3 through 6 star or crystal gas collected by 5%, tier 1, 30% at max without draining the node faster. It's essentially a bonus to mining, which, sure, useful, I guess. I mean, there's a T'Pring. Gotta have a mining ability. Surprised that we finally got a T'Pring version. Remember, there are 2. There's the rare version, the old school T'Pring, and then there's the Borg T'Pring. They're both protected cargo. This one, not protected cargo. It's fine. Change it up. Why? Because I saved the best for last. Holy shit. Unless I'm reading this wrong, finally, at long last, you've heard me complain about it a lot, but finally, there is a Strange New World officer that just gets you mitigation against a hostile. Doesn't matter what ship you're on. It doesn't matter what ship you're fighting. None of that. Strange New World T'Pring increases your armor, shield deflection, and dodge by 1200% at tier 1, 2500% at max of total defense against non-armada hostiles. That's fantastic. Something we've been asking for for however the hell long it's been. Over 2 years. Finally getting it. Wonderful. Oh, and they put it way in the back end of Syndicate. You rat bastards. But whatever, I guess. I mean, we finally got it. Now I'm probably a little bit closer. Let's go take a look and see. I don't even know where the hell. I'm actually not finished with the last Syndicate expansion. You can tell because, oh look here, Falloon shards, and then here you get to 56. That's where you first start seeing the new Pring shards, 130 there. Cool. So maybe by the time I get there, I'll have a few of those crew allocation things, and that'll change what, But that's cool. I mean, takes a minute to get up there. I mean, I get 52,000 a day. That's a lot for a daily Syndicate pull. I mean, from this spot. Other spots, you get more. 52,000 just from this spot. And I'm still not even at the end of the last Syndicate expansion. But, she's in this game. We'll see if she gets other sourcing moving forward. Probably not. Falloon and Grush and Mavery have not in the past. So, however, but again, I do appreciate that we finally got something we've been asking for. Only took it 2 years, but we finally got it. What other? I actually have been doing this and not on my notes. Okay, so here's the Klingon Strange New World officer. Yes, he's in the Strange New World group. I think typically when they make something like this, and there's things that are officers that are on opposing sides, they'll make 2 different groups. They didn't make 2 different groups. Of course, I haven't watched the new season yet. No spoilers. I barely remember the last season just because I feel like it was so long ago, but it is odd to have a Klingon in the same group as the Federation guys, but whatever. I mean, Worf is in there. Take a look at his abilities. Officer ability. No captain abilities. Wonderful. Strange New World. The choke increases common, uncommon, and rare Transogen mining bonus by 1,000% at base and 7,500 at max. Klingon with a mining bonus. And an unnecessary one at that, because if you just level up the building, you get this and more. Take a look at, go back to where the building is. Let's go to the building. See, what are my mining bonuses as it is? Yeah, I got all the way up to 30. I don't know how. It just happened. But yeah, common mining Transogen, 5,800 bonus. Uncommon, 11,700 bonus. Rare mining, 17,500 bonus. Is the choke gonna do much for me? No, not really. I mean, okay. I mean, fine. It's whatever. Below deck ability seems really nice, though. Again, you gotta get the guy. You gotta get the sourcing. The choke increases the ship's weapon damage by 700% at tier 1, 3,000% at max. Okay, that's a nice boost. It's essentially Mariner, as in this appears like it's going to work in PvE and PvP and against armadas and invading entities, except he is a shit ton more. What is Mariner max out at? Like 170%. Yeah, that's a huge boost. Now, will it actually affect us? I'd have to get the guy to see, because how much attack and weapon damage do we have already? I have no idea. I mean, I could have 1,000,000%, so another 3,000% just isn't going to do that much. But depending on you as a player and where you are, this could be very beneficial to you. So it's almost like you don't even need an officer ability, because you're going to use the below deck ability, right? Yeah. What else do I have? asking about the sourcing. What is the sourcing for D-Choke and Scotty? Don't know. The Flashpoint store? Ooh, that's so cool, isn't it? Yeah. Sourcing for Spring, Syndicate. Got to get people up there to the Syndicate, or who gives a shit? I don't know where you're at with, excuse me, with your Syndicate levels. You see where I'm at. Ugh. Might put a little bit more emphasis on some of the primes if they become available in the Alliance Tournament store or any other store. I know the first prime is, but it's only like a plus 100. There is another prime. I thought it had sourcing. I don't remember. I swear it has sourcing. It was a plus 400 bonus. That's why I have such high for my daily claim. Yeah, I can't remember where the hell that is. Might have to talk about that in a later video. However, sourcing, it doesn't seem that great. And again, long time to get to Spring. But at the same time, when you finally do unlock the Spring, that changes how we use the Strange in the World group. They will become the premier hostile grinding crew. It will. Yes. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I think that's a good thing. The problem is getting the officers. But there is a sourcing path. Will we get there? I don't know. I'll give the officers a thumbs up for now. Because I really do like that finally we got something we were asking for 2 years. Hate that it took 2 years, but we do have it. Alright, let's go to the missions here. And you can see, I think I do have... Yeah, look at this one. Select. Reach stage 4 of the Repel Herrock event series. Well, they changed the shit, so there is no more stage 4. And yes, we did actually complete both stages of the third try of it. This isn't good. You have these missions that actually can't get completed anymore because there is no stage 4. What do you do about that? You have to fix this. You've had, like, what, a week to try to fix it? Okay, that's fine. Do whatever you do. I do appreciate that the tasks for the missions, there seemed to be a lot less tasks of go kill this many hostiles. They were there, but it seemed like the quantity of those tasks was lower, which I do appreciate. At the same time, felt like there were a lot of missions. Though, sometimes there are, 10 stages or 10, not necessarily 10 chapters, but where you see Flashpoint 1, sometimes there's 10 of those. There weren't any this time, but there were a lot of missions. And you had to go into the claim section and claim them all. And yes, there were time limits, which I don't really like. Why not just give out the missions? And everybody has them. It's fine. So a lot of claim buttons, that doesn't seem like a good thing. You couldn't put 2 or 3 of these missions under one claim? Especially if they all have the same timer? You couldn't just do that? You had to make more buttons for us. That's fine. Whatever. I'll go with the missions because I feel like some of the rewards, not only is this not happening, or am I not getting credit for this, but there were some where you got refined Transogen and that didn't count towards the IMS. IMS said acquire refined Transogen. I required refined Transogen through the missions. You didn't give me credit for it in the thing. Your mission sucked. Let's go to the events. Now I think everything is gone. Oh, incursions is up. I want to take a look at this score. This score is crazy for as early as it is. But yeah, my server hates incursions. This is wow. I think we gave up a quadrillion and a half 30 minutes into incursions. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, all the events are gone except for this run here for the Transogen Forge. Absolute 100,000% garbage this month. The events sucked ass. Trash. I don't even care what I say, if it even makes any sense. This is what you get for events. You. It really angers me the way they handle these events, because they have been handling the events the same way for the past few months now. Look, I get that you make a loop and you want to make it very challenging to start and then sell the solution later. I get it. But you can't do that with the events. You cannot do that with the events. You reduce the amount of engagement in your game. It's counterproductive. And it kind of tells players to go fuck themselves. But maybe that's just an opinion. Very hard for entire servers to complete the damn event. 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row. You ran the event. Again, it was a challenging loop. The event scoring didn't reflect that. Okay, you got the feedback week, not necessarily week 1, but let's say the first run of Flashpoint, Trashpoint, fuck-ass point, whatever you want to call it. What changes did you make for the second run? Did you make changes? I barely noticed any changes being made. Oh, if you kill a dropship, you get 2 points instead of 1 point. Oh, yeah, because that helped. What? You thought that was going to help? Whatever. Again, third time's a charm. Okay, people finally started completing it. What, on the last day? But yet, some of the things you were talking about for this shit come out. Oh, if you complete early, you get a bonus. Who the hell was completing this ahead of schedule? It's just infuriating. Because you feel like these people are adding a whole bunch of bullshit to this game and not allowing you to complete it without paying. Like everything has to be pay to play. Even events now. Even featured events that are going to carry the theme of the month or the arc. You got to pay to play. Pay to win. Pay to complete. Pay to engage. No? No? You designed it so everybody could engage with this? Where's the evidence of that? I see no evidence of that. Because of how few servers completed 3 runs. Again, there were 3 runs. Each server should have 3 completions. So if you have 100 servers, that's 300 completions. How many completions were there? Did you even get to 100? Okay. I mean, do whatever y'all do. Just don't get surprised when another 10,000 people leave this game. Alright, what other stupid ass notes that I have? Garbage. Lack of communication between Flashpoint event runners and Transogen loop designers. Loop is challenging, which is okay, but the events need to reflect that. Took them 3 runs to get it close, but it still sucked. I still think that it sucked. But maybe it's just because it was after that many runs or weeks, we're just tired of this bullshit. You know? People just checked out because of this because of it. Alright, now let's talk about the spend events. Yes, they changed the scoring of the spend events. I understand why. I get it. I do. You don't really want people to be putting up shit ton of points with G5 and G4 and G3 materials, even though they're a G6 player. Well, there's so many efficiencies for G3 that I couldn't possibly get any significant amount of points with G3. And to a certain extent, it's the same with G4. Now G5, I can get some points with G5. So I understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, couldn't you just reduce the scoring? Or maybe not even reduce it. Increase the scoring of G6, which they did. At least for me. I don't know what exactly they did. If you're a G5 player, did they increase how much D5 counted for you as well? Because they did for me in G6, which is, it's fine. It's just when you kind of spring that on players, yeah, we're not going to like that. Because all these events, we still get G5, G4, G3 materials. I don't really like that. If I'm going to do some of these events and you're not going to allow G3 or G4 to count, or even G5 count in some of these spend events, then why am I getting so much? How about give me less G3 and less G4 and give me that in G6? Oh, well, people need to catch up. I'm G6. I shouldn't need G3 or G4 shit to catch up on. So maybe if you are going to remove some of the scoring, the different grades, and remove them from the scoring, then maybe for like a G6 player like me, I don't get G3 or G4 in rewards or packs anymore. That's another thing. When people go buy packs, previous grades are in there. So I can spend, or I'm not spending just on my current grade, I'm spending for previous grades, but yet they don't count at all. Whatever, man. Again, I get the idea. I just don't think it was the greatest way to go about it. Okay, you want players to have to spend to compete in some of these spend events. Okay, that makes sense. But again, why do you complete removal of all previous grades of materials? No, I can't be behind that. But I get it. I just think you need to do it a little differently. Yeah, reduce them. Instead of removing previous grade scoring, reduce them. And I'll talk about the Scotty, or really just the events themselves and the awards. First week was for depot tokens. Second week was for Scotty. The third week was some incursion prep bullshit. It was just a milestone. I mean, it's just a leaderboard. The first 2 weekends had a milestone, but just one. I don't like that. Number one, I didn't like that it was officer depot tokens and not one of the epic officers. But whatever. But what I really don't like is that the structure of these spend events over the past several months have been an SMS that is almost 2 weeks long. And once you complete one tier, there's another one. And then there's another one. In some cases, there have been 3 or 4 tiers. How is that not a good thing? How is that not enticing players to buy more packs that way? You weren't getting enough packs purchases? Weren't getting enough pack purchases then? Really? Okay. I don't see how that's the case, but hey, if that's what, the analytic numbers are telling you, then that's what they're telling you. Stop doing the multi-tier of these SMSs because we're just not getting money for them. People aren't buying packs to complete another tier of it. I think you're just misunderstanding where some of these purchases are coming from or where these purchases are going towards in the end. Just because I buy a pack week 1 doesn't mean that in week 2, those materials that were in that pack, like say a treasury, aren't going to the spend event. Just because it happened a week or 2 later doesn't mean that that's what that purchase was or was not for. Or whatever the right word is there. But apparently I don't give a shit. I don't care. I like it. Okay, if I buy more packs. And again, you know what? If you're going to reduce what other grades score, then why would you not keep it going? Because I kind of hated that. I didn't level up. I could have. I kind of wanted to. But at the same time, I was already done with my SMS. I did what? 2 guns, 2 docks, maybe 3 guns. 3 guns and 2 docks, and what? 10 researches, and I was done. Okay. Alright. That's fine. That's what you wanted? That's what you wanted. Okay. However. Alright, well, enough of the events. Again, if you weren't paying attention. Because that's all you did. I mean, especially with the spend events. Especially when you combine that trash point bullshit with how you handle the spend events. However, alright, let's get to this feature. Call it the Transogen / Forge feature. Call it this shit here. Yeah, somehow I'm already up to level 30. Okay. I hate hazards. I don't really like that I have to deal with them a lot in this. So at some points I just avoid dealing with the bullshit hazards. And to be honest, I'm mining in like G5 space of this Transogen shit, and I think it's going fine. Of course, it's mining. I don't care that many shits about it, or I don't give that many shits about it. But all in all, I do kind of like the loot. Okay, mining speeds for some of you may not be good enough. Well, you'll get there with the loops. I mean, with the building. I do like what they did with the artifacts here. Let me go through the notes. Mining speed will increase with the building. Bounty hunter hostiles seem pointless. Here's what it is here. Transogen containment exchange, Transogen canister exchange. Yes, that is something I didn't really like about this. I don't think you essentially have 5 raw currencies to go after. Why? Could be 3. Right? It could be 2 raw isogens. 2 raw transogens, and then 1 canister container. It could be. And to a certain extent, you got G4, G5, G6 canisters and containers. So that's 8. You didn't need to do that. You did that because you don't like the player community. I don't know. Otherwise, why would you do that? Because again, if you're in G5, you're getting a shit ton of canisters and containers, and you can go up to G6, and guess what? You can't do anything with those anymore. Because, I mean, it's just like silent. People don't like that. It's not a good thing. It's a bad thing. They have currency in this game that is just useless. And to a certain extent, you're still going to end up collecting it. Because you're going to have to deal with the bounty hunters somehow. A lot of people, I think, like to kill them. I kind of like it that way. Yes, you can do the Picard maneuver, but I kind of like to just send another ship in there and kill it. Because if you park the damn thing, you sit on a node, and then you reset the node, then guess what? Those fucking bounty hunters get active again. Not a good thing. So you have all this currency that you're gaining, and it's useless for you. That's stupid and pointless. What's what I wrote here. I do like the artifacts. They do have decent sourcing. Some of them are going to provide you a nice buff. That's debatable. I mean, more apex barrier, more damage. I mean, at this point, whatever. But these 4 right here up front will give you an extra claim once you unlock it. I don't know which one's which. One's speed ups, one's materials, one's resources, and the other is something. I don't remember what the hell it is. Speed ups, resources, materials, and what the hell's the 4th one? I don't know. I don't remember what the 4th one is. It doesn't matter. An extra bonus, another daily claim. Cool. Who doesn't want more speed ups? Who doesn't want more resources? And more materials and more whatever the hell else there is? Can be very useful. And I also really like there is a catch up for some of the older artifacts. These two here are older. The Scepter, Grand Nagus Scepter, Katinga Replica, Trident Scanner, the Batlift from Martox, these Phaser Rifle, and the Guidance Gun, and the Trombone, and the Telescope, and all this shit here. Yeah, a lot of older artifacts getting an extra sourcing spot, which is it's very useful. It's useful to some players. Something I actually didn't make notes on. Maybe because I just haven't gotten there yet. There are now jump drives, instant jumps for some of these ships. Cool. All the way up to, from what I can tell, G6 rare. That's nice. You have to get a shit ton of Transogen Forge Dust, another fucking currency that they added, but Instant Warp is Instant Warp. That's cool. Now, what it's going to cost in Instant Warp, what the cooldown's going to be, blase, I don't know. These exocomps, okay, ship cost efficiency. Fine, I guess. Mantis, fuck the Mantis. Devore, fuck the Devore. Defiant, fuck the Defiant. Going to Eviscerate and see a Protector, okay, sure. NX01, fine. Borg Cube, I guess. Titan, sure. Talios? Talios has far too many level locks for... different players are different players and they do different things. For me, the level locks were the problem. I didn't have any issue once I got the level getting the parts. So I don't think this is meaningful at all. Monavine, Cerritos, fine. Fine. Voyager, fine. Franklin? Whatever, man. Whatever. I don't get it. If it's in the independent archives, I don't know why this exists. It doesn't make sense. But fine. It's fine. Do whatever. If you want to do this, go ahead. I don't care. You're not going to hurt my feelings if you like this. Go ahead and like it if you want to like it. Research cost efficiency for the same loops. Outlaw, Mantis, Defiant, Borg Cube, Titan, Monavine, Cerrito, Voyager, and then speed for research in general. That's fine. Combat, exocomps, reputation, isolated damage, isolated defense. Again, costs, rare refined transogen. You want to spend it on exocomps or do you want to spend it on artifacts? I recommend getting the artifacts. This should be thought as more of a end game mechanic. But you can also do whatever the hell you want. Because it's your account. And you're playing it. What else do I have in this bullshit? I hate hazards. If I mentioned that, I hate hazards. Like to catch up. Thought they could have used less rarities of the transogen. Alright. So wrapping that up. I will actually... I'll give this transition loop a thumbs up. I kind of like it. And I do appreciate the catch-up mechanics. Now, certain instances, it's another spot for another currency that you got to manage. But combine that with some of the artifacts that they came out with, it's relatively worthwhile. Okay, you got to mine shit. I don't mind that. Maybe it is because of how my server, for the most part, treats mining. If your miner's UPC, it's generally left alone. I don't know how the rest of you all out there do with your mining, but it's kind of how we've been doing it this whole time. So, I don't really mind it. Is it really that exciting? No, but at the same time, for me, it's a passive way to go through all these loops. I can just send a mining ship out there. It's getting all the currency. I can go do something else. Maybe not even be in game. I don't really have a huge problem with that. I think that's why at times it may appear that I like mining. I like it because I don't have to be there all the time. Again, I could be sleeping. Yes, I put miners out overnight. I'm not doing anything else in game. Might as well put a slower miner with high protected cargo out there. And then when I come back, I got 1 million of common shit. Sounds fine to me. I don't even have to be there. It's kind of why I like it. I don't like active mining because that kind of defeats the purpose. But, however, alright, let's wrap this all up here. This video coming to an end, summarizing a little bit. The officers, the new additions to the Strange New World group, I feel like they're, as a whole, I feel like they're pretty good. Thumbs up on the officers. Am I worried about sourcing? Yeah, I'm a little worried about the sourcing. But, again, Strange New World to Pring, finally, a mitigation officer for the Strange New World group that just works against hostiles. That's awesome. The missions, way too many button clicks to claim all the different missions. I do appreciate there were no 10 chapter long mission change, but at the same time, why did that have to result in us clicking buttons more and being time gated? Don't really like that. Excuse me. And I don't like that the reward, some of the refined Transogen, just didn't count towards the IMS. That's bullshit. Acquire refined Transogen. I did that. Oh, I still don't get credit. Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. No, it doesn't make sense. The events. Really pissed me off. Maybe it's just how I have always perceived events. And that they are a way to get players to engage with the content. And yes, maybe like the content to where they buy extra things. But if you're going to make it so aggravating, players aren't going to want to engage. You did that with the Flashpoint loop and all the stupid location of the hostiles and the hazards and the bullshit scoring and the ridiculous high scoring and the stupid stages. Why there needed to be so many stages. 2 separate stages for killing hostiles and then 1 stage for the entities and then 1 stage for mining. And not only that, you saw the lack of completion on multiple servers, if not all the servers, first run. And what'd you do the second run? Did you do any better? Maybe you finally got it right the third time. But you know what? People gave so many less shits about it. You fucked it up. You fucked players over. You're just stupid. The Transogen loop itself, which I think is maybe the main feature here, I'm going to go with that because I'm going to go with Flashpoint being more of an event. I think the Transogen loop is fine. Yes, there are too many currencies, as usual, because everybody loves Tiger. And even if this was not a Tiger loop, well, he's got a whole bunch of, what's the word? Minions? Idolizers? Copycats. Get it? Pun. Copycats. So yeah, I mean, he's going to go by Tiger. All his little minions are called copycats. Ha ha! I made it funny. Yeah, there doesn't need to be this many. There didn't need to be 4 types of... I'm sorry, not 4. 3 types of raw Transogen and then 3 types of refined Transogen. There does not need to be 2 different rarities of canisters and containers. And then also, 3, 4 grades of each, making a total of 8, 6? 6 or 8 of them? That's a lot. That is far too many. And then there's some extra bullshit. It's not even like a prime currency. It's like a premium currency, like premium mirror dust. But all in all, it is more of a passive loop, at least for this player on his server. So I'm gonna say that it's okay. Plus, I kind of like the rewards. I kind of like what they did with the artifacts. It is kind of nice. So comment below, what did you think of this month overall? Can you even effectively grade each of the individual parts? Or are you just so disappointed, mad, angry about the execution of Flashpoint? Can Flashpoint itself bring down the whole month? Even, there were some other really good things that came this month. And I'm sure there are some things that I missed. Is there something that I missed and didn't put in my notes here that you really liked or really hated? Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I am the Angry Rhino. Shields up, Commanders.